Hello to the world of internet land. I'm Chris Mills with surfstrengthcoach.com, bringing you some good info so you can help your body move better, improve your training, so you can stay in the water, surf. I'm fortunate enough today to be sitting down with Doctor of Physical Therapy, Sofia Costa. I'm also fortunate to be able to do a seminar with her on April 4th in Santa Monica. So we're going to talk a bit about that today, as well as some other good stuff for you guys to apply to your training and your pain relief and whatever else. So, Sophia, how are you today?
Morning. Good morning.
Good
I'm doing
morning.
great. Almost 7:45 in the morning over here, West Coast time. Things are going good.
West Coast. Throw up
Yeah.
the West Coast sign.
No, not today.
So, initial quick start. 2 questions for you. You can answer them in either order. I've known you since I think 2007. For those people that don't know, Sophia and I used to do personal training at a gym together. So 2 questions to start it off, give everybody a bit of background about you. 1, what is a recent really good movie you saw? And 2, give me a 2-minute or even less elevator speech of who you are, what you do, and how you got there.
What was the first one?
A
All right,
movie, a good movie.
a
The
good
last really good movie you saw.
a really good movie that I've seen. Lately I've been into documentaries, and a recent good one that pops into my head is it's called Maiden Trip. It's a 13-year-old girl from Europe that decided to sail by herself around the world. So it's a documentary about her. She records herself, and it's a great documentary. You see her transform into this young little teenager and transforming into like an adult. She had to travel by herself and do everything, survival skills, on her own at a very young age. So that's very inspirational. And recent movie, Chef, I thought it was a great all-around movie. So that's a really, really good one that I recently saw too. So a documentary
So the
and
most recent, that's deeper than me. Like, I'm like, oh, what's the most recent movie I saw? It's not some like deep-seated documentary. I saw Hot Tub Time Machine 2, and it's fucking hilarious. At
I
least I
haven't
thought.
seen it. I haven't seen the first
If
one.
you didn't like the first one, yeah, if you didn't dig the first one, don't see the second. But if you dig the first one, the second one's hilarious. Um, so now let me get the 2-minute elevator speech, who you are, how you got there, sell it.
All right. So I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and raised in Texas. Did my undergrad at Texas A&M University. Got my bachelor's exercise physiology. And then in 2007, moved to Miami. I got hired as a personal trainer at Equinox. And during that whole time, my ultimate goal was to go to physical therapy school. Thankfully enough, being raised by both MDs, my parents are both physicians. So I knew at a young age, at 16, I wanted to do something to help others, help people, heal people. And so, and I wanted to combine personal training and physical therapy together. So personal training for 4 years, and finally got accepted to physical therapy school in San Marcos, California, near Carlsbad, at University of St. Augustine for health sciences. And I got my doctorate in 2012. First job straight out of graduating, Monterey, California, and now currently in Santa Monica. And I've been here for a year and a half. And yeah, living the dream. Can't complain. So that's where I've been in short. So
So now in Santa Monica, and I know personally, but just so people get an idea, what's some type of client populations you're working with out there?
so I'm thankful that in this area a lot of people are very physically active and more in tune, and living a healthy lifestyle. So a lot of them are eat pretty good food and weekend warriors. That's what I see a lot of people who do the Santa Monica stairs and hiking and rec activities such as like tennis, surfing, all kinds of sports. So a lot of patients, clients that I treat are very physically active and value and investing in themselves to manage what they're going through, their pain, and learning how to prevent injuries from happening. So I'm thankful to be working with a very active population.
One thing you brought up that I want to highlight is, you said you work with a lot of people that not only are they well-intentioned in their recovery and pain elimination, but they eat good food. How important do you think nutrition is for those people trying to either recover from an injury or for those dealing with chronic pain or chronic inflammatory issues? What do you think?
I think it's huge. I like incorporating nutrition as part of healing and recovery, as part of their treatment plan. I'm a certified holistic lifestyle coach through the Czech Institute. So what I've learned through them, I apply it with my patients, clients, and incorporating a more natural remedy for inflammation. So I,
Yeah.
relay information for foods that help control inflammation. Um, and just helping them with that. So I guide them with that, depending on what they're presenting with. So just basic info to help control inflammation and herbal teas, just info that I've learned from, I know a food psychiatrist, a food psychologist. I know a handful of
I didn't
nutrition.
even know that was a thing.
I didn't know it existed. But it's building a positive relationship with your food. She's amazing. And so I picked her brain and gathered info, and I refer patients to her as well. So I refer out so that people can gain info on getting the proper nutrition so that their body is not so, in a constant inflamed state. So you got to treat the patient inside out. And so I truly believe in that and value that instead of just looking at their pain sort, like their knee, and just looking at the knee. I just don't see it. They don't progress as well. I treat them from the inside out, and I see a better progression and with doing it that way. So yeah.
So now that we're kind of that kind of segues into clients and healing and what's so people have an even better idea of your scope, and people, if you're in Santa Monica, go see this girl. What's a recent surfer you worked with? What was their issue, and what was some of the interventions you did for him or her?
So I've treated a handful of surfers. I'm trying to think of a really good one to share. So I have about 3, and I'll explain them real quick. Ex-pro surfer from 1980s. He's 50, very physically active, and he ended up having knee surgery, meniscus repair, and focused on hip strategy, getting the hip muscles a lot stronger, and getting more movement through the ankle joints. And I got him back into surfing 9 weeks post knee op. He was able to go to his Nicaragua surfing trip. And he wrote me an email saying he's even surfing better than when he was a pro, focusing on mechanics. He's doing great. Another one, he was 25 years old. He had a complete ACL reconstruction surgery. One in October, another one in December, and just focus when you got to get range of motion, get the swelling down, all that good stuff, but same hip, core, ankle, foot mobility.
And then
board, I went in the water, pedaled out with him, and just kind of was coaching him a little bit, and he hadn't been surfing in a year. So yeah, he dropped in, caught his first wave. I was there to witness it, and he got his stoke back and was surfing pain-free. So it was awesome being there, being part of it. So that was a year ago. And so those are two knees, and I had another one, 28 shoulder, bank heart repair. And he was able to swim and get back into surfing 8 months post-op. So that's, I've been pretty awesome success stories with that, so that they can get their stoke back and get back in the water stronger than ever, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Well, I think, like you said earlier, you're already working with a patient population, generally speaking, that is motivated to get themselves back to doing what they want to do. And so, my field, I'm working with a lot of guys that hurt as well. And if it's, something really orthopedic, refer out to an osteo or physio like yourself. But one of the biggest things, almost faults, I see with people not getting out of pain is because they're not willing to put in the time or the effort or seek out a qualified and quality practitioner to help them get back to it. And so even if I've had shoulder reconstruction, it took me like a solid 12 months before I could get back in the water. But in that 12 months, you've got to be pretty diligent with what you're applying.
You didn't come see me, that's why.
Well, you were living on the other side of the country, man. You brought up another thing that is really valid, and people need to understand this, and this is something you and I are both going to hit on heavily at the seminar. Me from just a general kind of tissue and flexibility perspective, you from more of an orthopedic and kind of clinical perspective. But when there's an injury to a joint, whether it's the shoulder or the low back or the knee, yeah, there needs to be some type of intervention at that joint, but there needs to be a really good look and assessment of everything above and below it. So if your knee hurts, look at your hip, look at the ankle. If the shoulder's hurting, look at the spine, look at the way you breathe, check out the neck, and not just focus just on that shoulder. That's a concept people, I think, really need to get their head around a bit more. And so, yeah, what are your thoughts on the kind of joint above and below? And then I know you dig breathing and posture. Maybe you can segue into breathing and posture for me.
Yeah, definitely. So when they come in, hey, I'm here for knee, I'm here for back, I'm here for shoulder. You gotta look at the whole body is a relationship, not so much a cause and effect. I see it as a whole relationship. This relates to this, relates to this, and so movement analysis testing really helps key in on what's going on for me to see the body as a whole and where compensations have been going on, and doing testing and things like that would help me figure out the treatment plan for this person and gear it towards their function and their sport. So it's huge to incorporate the body as a whole. We move as a unit. We don't move in separate. I don't move just my arms to walk. It starts from the big toe all the way up to the base of your skull that's moving. So yeah, I think it's key and huge to look at the body as a whole, and that's what's gonna allow the patient client to recover fully instead of relapsing later on because we missed something.
Right.
So
yeah,
huge value with that, and incorporating. You got to build basic foundation skills like a house, right? You got to have a strong foundation so that you can build your walls. And same with treatment. Your basic foundation, I like to incorporate diaphragmatic breathing and getting the posture, fixing overall posture, incorporating spinal health, and diaphragmatic breathing is huge. So chest breathers are, correlation with neck shoulder issues. The diaphragm is not moving whatsoever. Low back, hip, diaphragm doesn't move either. So really teaching patients, retraining that brain to get that diaphragm to move helps with stress management, relaxation techniques. Diaphragm movement is key in building that strong foundation. It's very simple, but I think
huge
value. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
so
and
many people don't know how to breathe. So
I would say probably 85% of the people that I see come in with pain, especially if it's a neck, shoulder, low back, can't breathe properly. And generally, the ones that do, I'll ask them, they were usually singers. I've noticed if they were a singer, I've seen a couple, they could breathe properly because, they get trained quite heavily in breathing. You can't breathe, you can't sing. But I'm glad you brought that up because that's something you're going to hit on heavily in the seminar is proper breathing mechanics, its relationship to proper joint function of the shoulder, the neck. And I'm going to hit on, and I want people to understand, if you can't breathe properly, and what Sophia means is diaphragmatic breathing. We're using the diaphragm to drive breath. Most people are breathing all with their scalenes, SCM, traps, everything up top. And so I just push for a multitude of reasons, but one, if you're paddling and you're already stiff and you're a desk jockey, so neck posture's out of alignment, things are already overused, and then you're paddling, you're already too stiff to move, but then every breath is still doing this to paddle and to surf, you are asking for a neck problem or a shoulder problem. So if I know you're going to hit diaphragm breathing a lot harder on the seminar, but what is one simple way people can start improving their breathing? They can do this right after they stop listening to this.
So I start with them lying on their back. So they're supported, their spine supported,
Yeah.
so they're lying on their back, knees are bent. Bring them into neutral cervical spine, so get your neck, little chin tuck position, and just placing their hands on their stomach and giving them a visualization. The diaphragm's like a balloon, fill it up with air. So that way they have one hand on their stomach or two hands on their stomach or one hand on their chest, and I'm like, I don't want the hand on the chest to move. Just get that belly button to get
Right.
up towards the ceiling. Just really simple cueing and cueing them to relax their shoulders and chest, because then they've learned to breathe like this. So just hand on your stomach, send your breath deep down towards your belly button and allow that expansion to happen. And I cue them to create the space within their spine and ribs with every breath they take. And it's huge. They start relaxing and start feeling so much better. You can also practice sitting at your desk. Take breaks. Check yourself. I say check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like take time to check and see if you're breathing. Place your hand on your stomach and get that breath. It's so huge. So lying down, I do that first.
Well, it's one of the quickest ways. Yeah. Breathing is one of the quickest ways to start influencing the nervous system. If you can shift it to more of that relaxed, like parasympathetic state, helps people chill, man. Lay down and breathe. So for a generalization, you and I spoke briefly yesterday, but the internet wasn't fortunate for us. And you spoke, I asked you a generalization. I always do. People get irritated. Practitioners get irritated with generalized questions, but you working with people that are already injured generally, what is one thing you just wish or hope more people would be aware of in terms of, is it some particular type of stretching they should do? Is it some tissue release? Is it just being posturally aware? What's kind of one thing you'd like to see more people just utilize just to try to keep themselves moving well?
I would say posture, number one. Being mindful, body awareness is huge.
Yeah.
If you don't have that connection, mind-body connection, it's just like a disconnect happens and you're just like, people come in and they're just, I don't even know how to move my arm properly. I don't know how to, walk properly or anything like that. So posture's huge, and before you train or anything like that, your posture has to be in optimal position before you can move, right? And so that, and as well as I love incorporating soft tissue work, with the tennis ball. So active release, I like doing that. So they place the ball between the shoulder blades and spine, get the shoulder blade moving, shoulder moving. Active TFL, tensor fascia lata, and quad release, getting those muscles that are on all the time. I call them control freaks. And learning how to turn those off and get those to release so that other muscles can contract more efficiently. So that's a good way to self-manage, and it doesn't take long. It's easy. A tennis ball, it's just so easy. Work with what you have. around the house. And, you know, I like
Right.
to incorporate that with them too. But posture is huge. You know, I can't show you shoulder movement if you're slouched rounded forward. You know, that's an
Right.
inefficient way to move. So that's what I would definitely key in on, focus on.
And that's, something you and I will both hit in more detail at the seminars. All the basic tissue release that people can do, from foam rolling to using your own thumbs to a tennis ball. And then I know you're going to get into a bit of Eldoa stuff at the seminar. Um, Us talking about posture kind of spurred
Yeah.
that thought. Give us just a quick, what is an Eldoa, and who's a client? What was their issue? How did Eldoa help them?
So Eldoa, ELDOA, was developed by a doctor of osteopathic medicine, Dr. Guy Voyer from France. And thankfully enough, I was able to attend level 1 and level 2 certification seminar course in Dallas, Texas, 2 years ago. And so pretty much in short, it's just teaching the client, teaching the patient how to actively create space within their joint. And he figured out how to decompress every single vertebrae from L5S1 all the way to C12, and decompressing a C joint, glenohumeral joint, and specific rib level. You know, it can be very, very specific or general, however you want to do it. And I've seen great success using that technique. What you're doing is constant reaching, placing your limbs in a certain position, but you're reaching using every single muscle and engaging the nervous system to create that space for 1 minute. And so you time yourself 1 minute, and I'm cueing them, you know, reach certain areas. And so it's an attempt to normalize the position of the spine. And great one that I can think of is that surfer who had that shoulder Bankart repair, and you know, he was lacking that last bit, and the quality movement with his reaching, I can tell the collarbone was not moving, rotating with him after a certain point. So I incorporated the Eldoa technique for the SC joint, sternoclavicular joint, and to actively distract the shoulder joint while maintaining upright vertical position. So it's incorporating the whole body, but you're isolating small movements. And it looks easy, but it's not. And no joke, I showed him on a Thursday. By Tuesday, when I saw him again, full range of motion, smooth movement, no pain at all.
Yeah.
This was about 4 months post-op, full range of motion without any pain, incorporating Eldoa to get that last, 20%. So that was a great one to work with.
They're powerful. They're really powerful, and they're damn hard to do. Usually after a surf, I'll do some of the low back, the lumbar spine ones, especially the L5S1 and some of the other lumbar vertebrae Eldoas. Yeah, the seminar is worth it just because of learning some of those Eldoas, and then everything else that goes along with it. Before we wrap up, we are fortunate enough to be teaching at the facility you're going to be working out of. Tell us how people can get in touch with you. What clinic do they need to come see you at? And any other things you'd like to share.
So I will be starting working with Elevate Physical Therapy and Fitness. It's off of 11th and Broadway. I just got hired and excited that I'm going to be part of Elevate team. And we're located 11th and Broadway. And you can check us out, elevateptfit.com, and get information. Working with Meredith and Brooke, amazing, inspirational, successful women who are top athletes. And we also have on site computerized movement analysis technology we got going on. We do walking analysis, running analysis, and high-tech stuff that it allows us to see even more so where some impairments may be happening, any type of compensations happening, and then we develop a program based on the results from the computer. It's pretty cool stuff. We also offer personal training, yoga, and massage therapy. And so with Elevates, it's we accept all insurance. It's out of network, cash based. Um, emphasizing on the value of care. It's one-on-one for the full hour with the patient or client with a doctor of physical therapy. So
Which
it's
is huge, man. It's not getting some exercises and go on your own for the next 45 minutes while your
right,
doctor treats 15 other people.
correct. No assistance, just you directly with your direct practitioner. It's great. You
Awesome.
progress faster, and I'm thankful to be part of that team starting April 1st and now teaching with you April 4th
Yes.
from 1 to 5:30. So I'm stoked. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
It's wicked. Sophia, I appreciate you sitting down with me today. Again, for those people in Santa Monica, go see Sophia if you've got some issues. She'll help you get sorted. If I had issues, I would personally be 100% comfortable of her working on me. She's a smart girl. April 4th, come see us. It's full 1 to 5. 4 hours of us giving you a full spectrum of things you can do to keep yourself moving well and improve your performance and athleticism and surfing. Sophia, is there anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. Can't wait. Come check us out April 4th. You won't be sorry. You're going to learn some
Cool.
great stuff. So I'm excited. We'll see.
Well, good. Last question for you. What'd you have for breakfast today?
Breakfast. I had garlic, onions, asparagus, carrots, sauteed in coconut oil, 3 eggs, pasture-raised, organic, and I got my organic coffee right in front of me. So I'm ready to start the day. Solid breakfast.
Yes. See, people, you need to eat good food. It's not difficult. Um, So again, hope you guys got something good from this. Get in touch with Sophia. Come see us on April 4th in Santa Monica, and just do things to benefit your body. If something hurts, put in some solid effort. Go see a good practitioner like Sophia or somebody else I recommend. Or if you're not in the area in California, maybe Sophia knows of somebody else that could help you. And just do good things for yourself. Improve your body so you can keep surfing or doing whatever else it is you want to do with it. And have a good day. Peace.